Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
We covered a lot of news in the last hour, but I haven't gotten just a ton of it. Look at these headlines. This is from DrudgeReport.com. ISIS renamed Al-Qaeda. So Al-Qaeda gets renamed ISIS, then IS, then Al-Qaeda again. We're going to go over that report. Financial Times of London. Americans brace for new wave of terror. We told you that was coming. Got to give up all our rights now because the government runs Al-Qaeda. ISIS has 12,000 foreign fighters. Hundreds of them are Americans. More British Muslims fight for Islamic State than for Britain. What a mess. Putin's targeting dirty McDonald's. Get ready for a boycott of that. I boycott McDonald's and all their... Well, they buy literally rotten chicken from China. I mean, just what... Are you suicidal, folks? John the Executioner, military conducted unsuccessful rescue mission. It's such PR where they blew up a Toyota truck today or they blow up some old armor to make it look like they're fighting Al-Qaeda while Al-Qaeda just runs around murdering whoever they want. Al-Qaeda is commanded by the same criminals that run our government, just so you know. We're going to talk about that today in the third hour. Meanwhile, while all of this is happening, Obama has taken more vacation time than even Bush, who I criticize big time for that, and just plays golf every day. He's not a president. And it's the arrogance, just thumbing their nose at everybody. Meanwhile, if you're Al-Qaeda, you can walk across the border, you can be given heat-seeking missiles by the U.S. government. But if you're a student in art class that draws a cartoon of Army soldiers fighting a T-Rex, I mean, I must have drawn that 100, 200 times when I was a kid. Who didn't draw pictures of Godzilla? I mean, I think every boy... Let me ask the men in there. Guys, did you all draw pictures of Godzilla being attacked by airplanes when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think that's probably what my mother...
Guns.
I mean, I've dug through my mom's stuff when she pulls out the old pictures and stuff and a lot of my drawings she saved.
Bullets coming out of the guns.
Yeah, well, but I mean, isn't it usually like a big monster being attacked by the Army?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's what me and my buddies all drew.
Us. Yeah, the Army's protecting us.
The Army's protecting us. Not attacking us. But they're taking our guns. Now it's a giant Army soldier comes out of the sea with a big Obama symbol on his head. Big Cyclops Obama soldier coming after our guns. But you get suspended or arrested. That's in the news today. Teen says he was suspended and detained for joking about killing a pet dinosaur. Yeah, and then I saw another story. You guys pulled up a whole nother one. Imagining shooting a dinosaur. So now let's see, watching the ISIS beheading or the IS beheading is an act of terror in England. But the government literally funding and running them and arresting, you have any free speech you want in England, but or the UK, you do not criticize Muslims. You will be arrested, you will be banned, you will be thrown out of the country. Everybody knows I'm not a quote Islamophobe. I don't spend all my time freaking out over, Islam and all the rest of it. And I've been pointing out that criminal elements have been working with it for a long time to overthrow the West. And that these people attack moderate Muslims, who are the majority, in my experience. But when ISIS and all these groups are turned loose to kill Christians en masse and say they're coming to America to chop my head off, I got to be honest, at an instinctive level, when a guy's pointing a knife at me and saying, I'm coming to kill you Americans, I mean, I just really want to get put in a ring. This guy can have a knife and I can have a knife. I mean, as a man, I want to kill members of Al-Qaeda. I mean, they kill children, women, they cut little kids' heads off. But remember, that's the manipulation. The globalists are funding them so we get mad at them, so then they use our anger to set up a police state that's aimed at gun owners. You see how the PSYOP works? Dr. Ed Group's coming in.
I'm David Hall, founder of Diamond Gusset, where we are proud of our 100% grown and sewn American-made jeans. Whether you're out for dinner, working on the farm, or on the road, Diamond Gusset Jeans offers a full spectrum of style and sizes for any occasion. Our loyal customers enable us to continue sponsoring Liberty Media outlets. Use promo code FREEDOM to receive a 15% discount at gusset.com. In Liberty, David Hall, Diamond Gusset Jean Company.
Tell folks how you got introduced to Super Male, and then when Super Female came out, tell us what happened.
After I saw such a huge positive change in my husband, I had to try it for myself.
Talk about the effects.
I feel great when I wake up in the morning. I have drive to go to the gym. I feel like I look better. I feel better. I feel sexier. I love it. Even if you don't believe in supplements, take the challenge. Get a bottle of Super Male, a bottle of Super Female. Check it out for yourself. Consult your physician. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today. This is life-changing.
Another major health threat, this one in Toledo, Ohio, where everybody in the entire city has been told not to drink the water.
Ohio's governor declaring a state of emergency.
Did you know that the average person uses about 80 to 100 gallons of water at home every single day? If there's a water emergency, will you be prepared?
Panicked residents forming long lines throughout the day.
We're here at a supermarket in Toledo. You can see the shelves empty where water once was.
To stay safe and healthy during a crisis, you must have access to safe, clean water. Water which will not be available at your local grocery store.
There's a mad dash on right now to stock up on supplies.
The ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system is a must-have for every modern, independently minded household. Protect your family's safety during an emergency. Go to InfoWarsStore.com today to purchase your ProPure Pro 1 G2.0 water filtration system or call 1-888-253-3139.
I began to get into iodine a few years ago because it was helping me and my family so much get healthy and detoxify. Most people know that iodine deficiency has been a crisis around the world. Iodine is key to so many of the body's functions, especially the thyroid. I discovered a product being developed by Dr. Group. You now know it as Survival Shield True Nascent Iodine that your body can really absorb. Then, about a year ago, he said, listen, if you think this is powerful, I'm going to come out with rare earth, deep earth crystals. And the results that I personally have had have been life-changing. Nobody else has got iodine based on these pure crystals, ladies and gentlemen. This is innovating, and the best part is it helps fund Infowars.com, the radio show, the TV show, the whole media operation promoting true libertarian ideas. For a limited time, experience the ancient power of Survival Shield X2. Take advantage of this unprecedented 30% off Super Detox Special at InfoWarsLife.com.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Well, ISIS has come out, ladies and gentlemen. It's in the Financial Times of London. And they're basically saying they're Al-Qaeda. And Al-Qaeda has been commending them all around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, ISIS was founded out of Al-Qaeda in Iraq. That is on the Defense Department's own website, the British Ministry of Defense. It's in the newspapers. We've been following this for 4 years. This is the group taking over part of eastern Iraq, western Syria. They are the first group to attack Assad 4 years ago. They are 60+% of the main battle force. They have been attacking the non-radical Muslims, if you can call them that are more secular and want to overthrow Assad because he's a dictator. And then Kerry says, well, we've got to then go back those groups against ISIS because they've taken over part of Syria and Iraq. When our government put them in training bases, the Israeli government's been protecting them and working with them. That's in Israeli news. They're on their border with areas with Syria where Al-Qaeda is operating. They've been giving Israeli ambulances to the Al-Qaeda forces and taking them to hospitals. And notice, ISIS and IS and all of them have said, we're not going to attack Israel. Remember that? They're going to attack Jordan, who actually let them train there. They're going to attack Egypt. They're going to attack African countries. They're going to destabilize everywhere. And then they pull back, and then the West has an excuse. Just like in Ivory Coast last year, the president went public of that country and said, the al-Qaeda forces come in and attack the oil refinery, then white men, Western blonde-haired men, commandos show up, have a fake fight with them and take over the oil rigs, and then say they're protecting them, and then start basically diverting the oil to tankers. Al-Qaeda works like two peas in a pod with the West. It was created in 1979 by Zbigniew Brzezinski, who is Obama's main advisor right now. It doesn't mean they're not real. Doesn't mean they wouldn't kill our troops and didn't. That's how this full spectrum dominance is. You turn these groups loose everywhere, they'll have real wars. Our troops will go and fight and die with these people. It's only their triple and double agent commanders that are higher up that are working with Western intelligence. Did they bomb their convoys to death when they came in? Did they take them out when they invaded Iraq a few months ago? No. They stood down. Now they blow up a Toyota truck or what looks like artillery, and there's never anybody standing around it. And guaranteed they're scripting it. Guaranteed the word goes that here's the grid. We want some of your equipment that doesn't work parked here. They put the trucks, they put the grids, you can see it staged, never anybody running away, never a big cache of weapons, never one of their bases. It's staged, just like in 2001. The real al-Qaeda was flown out to safety, and then our troops had a real war with the Haqqani network and with the Taliban, who didn't like them being there. Al-Qaeda starts the wars. Then that gives the West the pretext to come in and not even put a good government in. They want to destabilize collapsed post-industrial society in the Middle East, just like the globalists want to shut down our farms, our ranches, our factories, our power plants. They tell us parents aren't parents, the state is the parents. Everything is about getting you dependent on the system. Destabilization, extreme violence lies in the ISIS DNA. And then they go on to admit that the murder of American journalist James Foley was done by al-Qaeda. Of course it's done by al-Qaeda. The black flag with Arabic is the al-Qaeda flag. I am so sick of it. It's like if an army had American flags and was running around murdering everybody and was the American army, and then people were saying, gee, I wonder if al-Qaeda's involved. It is al-Qaeda. It's a total brand name. IS, ISIS, all this is a total brand name to confuse us. We're getting big problems. Rand Paul and Alex Jones, all these people are exposing that we're al-Qaeda's Air Force, we're working with them. The military is really upset, saying they won't fight for al-Qaeda. What do? You just change the name. That'll confuse them. But every time a journalist talks to al-Qaeda, they're not getting direct orders. They've just been turned loose and armed. They go, we are al-Qaeda. We will blow up the White House. We will kill Americans. We will cut your heads off, your wives and children. We're coming to murder you. And they have like hearts on TV, chewing on them, just completely whacked out of their brains. I mean, you look at videos and photos of these jihadis. I've never seen soldiers that look like this or act like this. They're completely whacked out of their brains. Only thing I ever saw close to this was some of the state police and local police in Ferguson who look totally hateful of reporters. I don't know what they've told the cops to hate them so much, where they just run up and stick guns in their chest and say, I'll effing kill you. I mean, you know, it's still not 1/10 as crazy-eyed. But it's one thing to have like 50 cops and maybe 10 of them are crazy-eyed. That's bad. When you watch videos of ISIS and al-Qaeda, there'll be hundreds of them, and they all just look like they're demon-possessed. I mean, who chops off 2-year-olds' heads and then goes, I mean, it makes me want to throw up. It's like watching Satanism or something when they're chopping people's hearts out. It makes me get really angry. So everybody's like, yeah, bomb ISIS. They're not bombing ISIS. They're only bombing them so they paint in the lines, paint by the numbers, and stay in the area they're supposed to have, dividing the country in 3 pieces. I'm going to shut up. I really appreciate Dr. Group coming in studio with us today. There's so much happening in